Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Mavic 3 Pro with me today, and I'm out on the Boise River. I am just below Lucky Peak Dam, and the water levels are really low in the river right now. They're, you know, we're in that winter time when they might be draining the reservoir a little bit, but they'll be getting ready, keeping the levels low so that they can, next spring, they can fill it up with snowpack. But that aside, what I wanted to do was fly downriver a little bit and kind of show you a little bit of the canyon. I did this last spring, I think, with the Mini 3 Pro, but let's try it with the Mavic 3 here and see what we can come up with. I'm in a spot here where I'm kind of surrounded by trees, so we're going to have to fly through a little gap or maybe even go straight up, but I think it'll work out. I'm on a picnic table. I'm going to take off right off this picnic table, and we'll figure it out from there. But anyway, let's quit messing around. Let's get the three-eyed monster in the air. Okay, we're ready to go here, and I've got my GoPro Hero 9 with me today, and that's what's looking at the drone right now. Let's start recording. And we're shooting in 4K 30 because I'm going to leave it in Explorer mode. Okay, let's do an automated takeoff here on the app. There we go. There's that big dog. I'm going to do just a well. Let's go up 7 meters. And give it a look at its home point. I think I could go straight up here and get out, you know, and not hit any of these trees, but we're definitely surrounded by trees. So let me bring it back down here and I can show you a little bit of where we're at here. So in fact, I don't think we're gonna bug anybody here at the park here. We can kind of fly around here a little bit. Let me make sure, double check and make sure I'm in bypass mode. And we are. We're in bypass mode. You know, I should have looked at this earlier, but yeah, we don't have any issues here. Return to home set at 35 meters, so we're good to go there. Let's just, I can just kind of take you kind of through the area here. And you know, in bypass mode, the drone, you know, is automatically moving around some things, and the problem is there are a lot of little branches, as you can see here, so the drone has a lot of things to look at. You know, you can see up, and there's a little picnic shelter here. Look at those little branches right above us. You can see them in the picture there. So let's see if we can get through this little picnic shelter here, and you can see it's really squawking. It wants to go up because of that picnic table there, but you can see where I am here. Let's see if we can go forward and get out from under. And there we are. Boy, we're definitely moving some leaves around. I can tell you that. I'm watching the drone. Yeah, it's definitely clearing some spot with the leaves. So, but anyway, I think what we can do here is I've got a little spot here that I think I can get through. I could go straight up, but what fun would that be? Let's take the drone down through this area right here. And we've got, the drone is struggling because it's got just a small area to go through here. And there are some little branches, but let's get it out there. We can fly it out through there. And there it goes, and we're in the clear now. So let me turn it around and we'll do our droney. You can see me standing there, and that's the spot that we just went through. I love the 360 obstacle avoidance on these drones. It is tremendous. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And we're heading right back into the side of the canyon here, but you can see where I'm at, and there's the river. I dropped the camera down a little bit, And the cool thing about this is you don't have to worry about backing into anything because the drone just is not going to do it. It's with that 360 obstacle avoidance again. So let me give you a look at what we're looking at here. This is, gosh, I don't know exactly what they call this, but for lack of a better term, I'll call it the Boise River Canyon. And this is kind of on the way up to Lucky Peak Reservoir. Kind of a cool area to fly. And you can see, let's see if we can drop some altitude here. You can see the river is really low. I don't think they're not letting much water at all go down the river. So they adjust it. It's interesting how they do that, how they adjust it so that they can get, they can maintain the amount of water they need for crops. Yeah, so we're getting RC signal interference because we are so low, and if we go around that corner, we'll get terrain interference. So I'm going to do something here. We want to give this drone as big a chance to get home as we can. So we're going to crank up that return to home altitude all the way to the top. So if we got behind something, I think the optimal return to home would get it around anyway, but I don't know that. So we definitely will keep an eye on our signal here. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of in the orange here because we're getting blocked by terrain, but let's go ahead and move on up here and get on top of this plateau, and there's some things I can show you up here as well. And in fact, at our 120 meter limit, am I going to get up over the top? Yeah, it looks like I am just. Right, so we're in good shape there. We're at max altitude as we are here, so it's about 400 feet up here. So we could actually change that too. In fact, we're going to want to change that, and we're perfectly legal because we're not. I'm going to change my max altitude. Well, I got it at 305 meters, which is going to be plenty for anything we do. Now we're not going to go over max legal, but obviously right here, where we're at, we could actually go up higher. We could go up 400 feet up high above this, right? Because we're not above ground level. But I don't know. I just think this is going to give you a pretty dramatic view, kind of flying along the edge here. Let's drop the camera down a little bit, kind of give you a pretty dramatic view of what we're seeing here with the river on the left, and then this canyon on the right. Pretty cool. And this is Oregon Trail country. The Oregon Trail ran along the top of this of the canyon here, and then in fact they dropped down into the canyon, and that's kind of how Boise, I believe Boise got founded, was people coming west, and they saw all those trees with the river running through it. So let's get back down here a little bit. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do is go along the other side here. So we're just going to go straight across. We're going to move straight across here. And it looks like, yeah, we're at 109 meters above takeoff altitude here. So we're in good shape. So yeah, so you can see this spot here, and this will give you a peek at the Lucky Peak Dam. Now, obviously, we're not going to fly over the top of it. It's a no-fly zone, but we can take you along the edge of this rim. And the cool thing about drones is how else would you get this perspective, right? If not for a drone, how else would you get a perspective like this? And you can see the state park that I'm at down below there, and there's the dam. It says keep Idaho green there. And so yeah, I'm not going to get any closer than that, but we'll move around the side of the plateau here. And the drone is is pretty close to me. It's not very far away. So, and this up here That's a ranch if I ever saw it. So we're not going to bother those people, but kind of a cool place to have your ranch up on top of the plateau here. I'll bet you not a lot of people get up to the top of this. And I'm getting a little bit of, it says RC signal interference, but because I believe, again, we're getting blocked by terrain, but it came back here. Lots of sagebrush up here. Let's bring it down lower and give you a look at the sagebrush on top of the plateau. And you know, what other drone are you going to have this kind of confidence in? I just think it's tremendous what DJI has done with these, their latest generation of drones. I mean, you can perform these kind of flights without worry, right? You're not going to lose your drone. It's going to come back to you, and you get good solid signal. So here's another look. Here's another good look at the Boise River. And mind you, in the springtime, that will be full of water, and there'll be a lot of water coming down there. Off in the distance down there, you can see the Boise Diversion Dam. And let's see, I see some power lines here. So we're just going to make sure we get above those. You know, like I said, discretion is always the best. Yeah, anyway, sorry I got distracted there. Just wanted this is just kind of an interesting spot here. So I thought it'd be worth moving around. Anyway, discretion is the better part of valor, and we're well above those power lines or whatever they are, but you know, you can see they're kind of going along the rim, so we want to give them a wide berth. That's the kind of stuff that'll get you, and that's where I think, again, common sense rules the day. You know, I tell people that with their DJI drones, and you know, even Skydio tells you that, you know, you're not going to see little branches, and you're not going to see little wires like that. As good as the obstacle avoidance is, so you know, just use some discretion. Let's point that camera down here so we can see. This is an interesting spot here. Let's move forward a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Holy cow. I think that's an interesting picture. Let's pick the camera up as we move along. That's, let's see if I can say it right, columnar basalt. In other words, lava in a column. Need to learn how to speak English. Wow, this is a great look, isn't it? And that is Highway 21 right there that goes up, if we're going the other direction, goes up into the mountains. And we're starting to get some signal degradation here, so I don't want to get too carried away. We're kind of in the orange here. Let's take a look down here at this spot too. I just think this looks really cool. Man. And there's, by the way, there's rock climbers that climb this stuff too. There's climbing spots here that guys climb this thing, so. Anyway. All right, let's head straight across to the other side, and it looks like we might have to climb up to do that. It is such a beautiful day today in Idaho. It's probably 60 degrees right now, but as you can see, blue skies, and boy, not much water in the river. And we are just heading right straight for the side of the canyon here. Yeah, and there's some power lines up there too, as I recall, so we're going to have to climb up a little bit to get over the top of this. But you know what? We're still below 120 meters, so we're good. Let's take a look here. Look at this. Look at this little lava flow down here. Yeah, that collapsed at some point. and drop those big old rocks down into the canyon. Move away and take a look at this. Kind of give you the big picture. There we go. And we're starting to get signal issues here, so again, discretion is the better part of valor. Let's bring it back. And weak signal adjust antennas, so we are going to keep this guy coming back towards us here. Weak signal adjust antennas, yeah. We know that. We're going to keep coming. We're a little bit, as you can see, that where the home point is, we're a little bit blocked by terrain, but I think this gives you a really good look at this canyon. I love this view. You know, I had us in Explorer mode because I was going to use the telephoto lenses, but I think this looks pretty dramatic just as it is. Let's get down lower here. Look at this little promontory point here. Wonder how many people have walked out there and looked at the vista. You know, the settlers coming down the Oregon Trail. I just think this is it just had to be dramatic for them to, you know, they're going along in their wagon trains forever, and they see stuff like this. It had to be breathtaking. Gosh darn, this is an amazing view. I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I can tell you I'm having fun flying it. Okay, so I told you that that I hadn't used telephoto yet, so I think it's about time. Let's just stop right there, and you can see where the home point is. Let's see if we can get to that 3x telephoto camera. So as I'm in Explorer mode, and it'll get to 3, and then it'll switch to that camera, and I'm slowing it up here. Yeah, so there you saw it switch, right? So we are on that 3x telephoto camera right there, and let's see how close we can get in with the 7x telephoto. So let's go ahead and crank that up. And there's the 7x telephoto. In fact, we're at 7. No, that went the wrong way. There, now we're on the 7x telephoto. So it crops in on the sensor of the camera before it gets to, but at 7.3, we're just marginally cropped in on that 7x telephoto camera. So let's pick it up here, and maybe we can give you a look at the dam, I guess is what I was trying to say there. So I'm moving sideways, and of course the thing about being on the 7x telephoto is I don't have a great look at what's around the drone, right? There's the dam right there. I said keep Idaho green, it says keep your forest green, so I misspoke when I was talking about it earlier. But there's the powerhouse, and interestingly enough, that powerhouse is run by the Seattle Power and Light. So kind of interesting. And there's the rest of the park. Okay, let's go, so we can show you how far away we are. Let's go back to 1x. See if I can bring it back slowly but surely. And you can see how far away we actually are. All right, that was a lot of fun. Let's bring this guy home. What do you say? You know what, I am not going to do, I usually like to do a return to home because I like messing around with the augmented reality return to home that they gave us. But because we're in such a tight spot here, and I took off on this picnic table, we're just going to manually fly this baby back. Baby back, I said. So let's see if we can get her down and in here. And in fact, you know what, before we do that, let me kind of just take you along, I don't know, I guess you'd call it the beach here. See people out there walking their dogs, etc. all the time. Let's zoom in here. Yeah. A couple dogs there, walking their dogs. That's 3x zoom right there. So we don't want to bother them, so we'll stay away from that area. And plus, I try and stay clear out on this end. That way we're not anywhere close to the dam and critical infrastructure, etc. Definitely want to respect that. So let's move downriver here, and then we'll turn around and see if I can come back through the gap again and bring it in for a landing. And in fact, downward sensors, we're pretty close to the water there. It's telling me I'm close, so let's bring it in here. Picking that camera up to 0. And I am looking at the FPV here. There's that little drone. Oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. And you can see the obstacle avoidance is telling me, hey, what are you doing? So there we are. And it's rising up as it gets closer here. Okay, so landing this thing. You know, I've got a nice little paved spot right over here. In fact, I didn't mean to leave the GoPro running that whole time, but we did. But let me pick it up so you can see what we're doing. And let's bring it right over here on the pavement and land it. Make sure there's no bicycles coming. And let's bring this guy down. Right over the pavement, full stick down right now. Nice paved spot to land at. Let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but there's some bug guts on the side of the camera there. So there were definitely some bugs messing around with the drone a little bit. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. I think that's something different than I've ever shown you before. Honestly, I've never been on the other side of the canyon over there, up on that plateau. This is the first time I've seen that too, so that was kind of fun to look at. And I'm just always struck by the abilities of this drone to do these kind of flights. And you know, with the 360 obstacle avoidance, like I said, I'm surrounded by trees here. It was no problem bringing this drone through the gap. I had no fear whatsoever. You obviously, again, I'll said it many times, you got to watch out for those little branches. But the drone did just fine. And we got some looks, I think, on the edge of the canyon and down the river that I thought were very dramatic and looked really good. Again, one of the things that I always say is the most fun about flying a drone is this kind of exploration. I really enjoy it. At any rate, I hope you guys did too. Oh, I also want to say that, hey, if you're looking at this video, you may be watching this video in the middle of January or something. This is the end of October right now. I'm trying to get a lot of flights in while we got some good weather, so I'll save some of these videos in the middle of the winter months so that we can look back and say, oh yeah, the weather was nice. But anyway, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we'll see you on the next one. The DJI Mavic 3 Pro it is truly, it's a professional grade drone. See you guys later.